A desperate race against time saved invaluable archaeological treasures in Gaza just before an Israeli airstrike could obliterate them. But here's where it gets controversial. Should precious historical artifacts take precedence amid a brutal conflict where lives and basic needs are at stake? In Jerusalem, aid workers faced an intense 9-hour negotiation with the Israeli military, scrambling to secure trucks in a Gaza Strip crippled by fuel shortages and widespread destruction. For 6 exhausting hours, they carefully packed fragile cardboard boxes onto open flatbed trucks, racing against the clock as an Israeli airstrike threatened to demolish the warehouse housing these priceless relics. This warehouse was no ordinary storage space. It contained artifacts collected over 25 years of excavations, including items from a 4th-century Byzantine monastery recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. These artifacts represent some of the earliest known evidence of Christianity in Gaza, a region rich in history but now caught in the crossfire. The Israeli military justified the demolition by claiming the building was used by Hamas for intelligence purposes as part of their expanded military campaign in Gaza City. Kevin Charbel, the emergency field coordinator for Première Urgence Internationale, PUI, a humanitarian group active in Gaza since 2009, emphasized the global significance of these artifacts. This isn't just about Palestinian or Christian heritage. It's about world heritage protected by UNESCO, he explained. PUI, while primarily a health organization, also dedicates efforts to safeguarding Gaza's cultural legacy. The negotiation was a race against time. Israel's Kogat, the defense body overseeing humanitarian aid, informed PUI early Wednesday morning about the planned demolition. This alert came through a notification system used by international NGOs to flag sensitive sites, such as schools, hospitals, or warehouses holding humanitarian aid to the Israeli military. Charbel, temporarily stationed in Gaza City, spent 9 intense hours pleading for a delay to move the artifacts to safety. Yet the challenge extended beyond convincing the military. With Gaza's infrastructure in chaos and many organizations overwhelmed, finding trucks on such short notice was nearly impossible. Just 5 minutes before I had to accept that the artifacts would be destroyed before our eyes, another group offered transport, Charbel recalled. Collaborating with the Latin Patriarchate of Jerusalem, PUI managed to relocate the artifacts to a secure, undisclosed location within Gaza City for safety reasons. The French Biblical and Archaeological School of Jerusalem, a respected institution known for overseeing the Dead Sea Scrolls excavation, had been responsible for storing approximately 80 square meters, 860 square feet of artifacts in the Al-Kauthar high-rise building. PUI provided security for this site. Gaza is home to dozens of ancient archaeological sites, including temples, monasteries, palaces, churches, mosques, and mosaics. Unfortunately, many have been lost to urban expansion and looting. UNESCO struggles to protect what remains. Some sites date back 6,000 years, reflecting Gaza's historical role as a key trade hub between Egypt and the Levant, where early urban societies began to emerge from farming villages. The rescued items include ceramic jugs, mosaics, coins, painted plasterwork, human and animal remains, and artifacts from the St. Hilarion Monastery, one of the oldest known Christian monastic communities in the Middle East, according to UNESCO. The rescue operation began just after sunrise on Thursday. Workers hurriedly packed 5 flatbed trucks with as many delicate artifacts as possible within 6 hours. Normally, transporting such ancient and fragile items requires meticulous preparation and specialized equipment to prevent damage. However, this time, the Israeli military prohibited the use of enclosed container trucks, exposing the artifacts to additional risks. As a result, some items were broken during transit, and others had to be left behind. The building was destroyed on Sunday, with Israel asserting that Hamas had installed observation posts and intelligence infrastructure inside. In the past week alone, Israel has demolished multiple high-rise buildings in Gaza City, issuing stark warnings for civilians to evacuate ahead of a ground offensive that began Tuesday morning. Now, the artifacts are stored at a different, undisclosed location in Gaza City. Yet, they remain vulnerable, exposed to the elements and under constant threat as airstrikes intensify. Since the war's outbreak in October 2023, UNESCO reports that Israel has damaged at least 110 cultural sites across Gaza, including 13 religious sites, 77 buildings of historical or artistic significance, 1 museum, and 7 archaeological sites. During the rescue, Charbel and his team grappled with a difficult moral dilemma. Was it justifiable to allocate scarce resources, fuel, trucks, and human effort to save inanimate objects when the humanitarian crisis is so severe? They risked lives working under the constant threat of bombardment, while also needing to negotiate for essentials like water, food, and medicine. But we chose to do it because these artifacts are incredibly valuable, Charbel said. They hold immense importance, not only to world history, but also to Palestinian history. Destroying early Christian heritage in Palestine would mean erasing it forever. This raises a provocative question. In times of war and humanitarian crisis, how do we balance the urgent needs of the living with the preservation of our shared cultural past? Should saving history ever take a backseat to immediate survival? Or is protecting heritage a vital part of preserving identity and hope for the future? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with the decision to prioritize these artifacts? Or do you think resources should focus solely on humanitarian aid? Share your views in the comments below.